Now tonight, the family of journalist Betty Barasa, who was killed by suspected robbers last night at her house in Ngong, Kajiado County, is seeking justice for its murdered kin. Betty, a senior video editor at the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, was shot 2 times in the head by an unidentified assailant at her bedroom, while 2 other assailants held the rest of her family hostage at a separate room. And as the murder's investigation gathers steam, the detectives have retrieved one of the phones stolen from the house, which they believe will be crucial in the manhunt for the 3 suspects. David Mudhoka begins our broadcast tonight.
Ololua area, Ngong, Kajiado County. Outside the house of murdered journalist Betty Barasa, residents, friends and family of the late KBC senior video editor are in utter shock. As a thick cloud of grief hovers over the compound, no one here seems to have come to terms with the gruesome murder that robbed a man his wife, 3 children including a daughter and 2 sons their mother, as well as residents their neighbor, all in a spur of a moment. But what actually transpired at this house that is now a crime scene on Wednesday night? According to witnesses, Betty arrived at her house minutes past 8 p.m. in the company of a friend from work. As has been the norm, her house help rushed to the gate to open it, but no sooner had she opened the black metallic gate to usher in her boss than 3 assailants armed with AK rifles emerged from a nearby construction site, sending the 3 into panic mode.
The house girl screamed, ran to the house. One of the thugs followed her. The other 2 are pointing guns to the windows to open fire. So my wife and the friend complied. They opened the doors.
Leaving the engine of her Toyota Prado SUV still running, the gunmen then led Betty into the house where they held her family, including her husband and 2 of their children hostage, and demanded money.
The one who came to the house now picked me from the veranda and told me to comply or they eliminate me. I said, no, I'll comply fully.
One of the gang members is then said to have led the journalist upstairs, while the other 2 remained to keep an eye on the other family members. Moments later, Betty's husband, Geoffrey Barasa, recalls hearing 2 gunshots from the bedroom.
Actually, I didn't know that my wife has been shot. I thought maybe they're scaring her. Maybe they feel we have money and we have not disclosed.
The gunman then came back down to join the others before the 3 vanished into the neighboring Ololua forest with 4 phones and Betty's laptop.
Then went upstairs to check what has happened to my wife, only to confirm that she's dead. Then the alarm was on, neighbors came. We engaged the police.
DCI detectives dispatched to probe the crime scene have since recovered one of the phones believed to be Betty's, even as investigations into the chilling murder intensify. With the motive behind the killing still a puzzle, the detectives are set to piece together evidence to establish whether the murder was a premeditated one, decoyed with robbery.
But these are people who know what they are doing, because they were not with they had gloves, industrial gloves. They are not just holding guns or whatever with they had covered themselves.
This as tributes for the slain journalist continue to pour from friends and colleagues. In this statement by the Media Council of Kenya, the council has condemned the inhumane act while calling for expeditious investigations into the murder. Meanwhile, the body of the deceased has since been taken at Montezuma Mona Lisa Funeral Home as burial plans kick off.
It is a murder puzzle that has left the family of journalist Betty Barasa with more questions than answers. One moment she was alive, the next she was no more, for a reason they have absolute zero knowledge about. Their plea, however, is that justice will ultimately be served. David Mudhoka, TV 47 at Ngong, Kajiado County.